What is up, guys? Again, Not the Worst here, bringing you not actually patch notes recap, because there were no patch notes for NAEU this week, but we did get this little present, which was I discovered on Reddit after some people in-game were talking about it during the day, so I want to talk about some things that are very likely coming. Well, they're definitely coming to NAEU, just not yet. So what the Korean patch brought today, also excuse my voice, still recovering from the 24-hour live stream the other day, and sleeping's been a little weird for me, so I sound like I just woke up. I didn't. I've been awake for a long time, and I'm feeling great. It's just my voice, so apologize for that. It's a little bit off this recording. Anyway, so one event, we'll come back and look at some of this stuff. They got the Snowflake event, which also starts for us anyways, as well. That one's there. Expect to see more Pearl discounts coming up into New Year's. For us, we'll definitely get that as well. This is, again, just strictly for KR servers. What we want to talk about, if you haven't heard about it already, the big deal, although we'll touch on some of these other things too, because we can expect them to come as well, is this bad boy right here. New simple alchemy recipe available when your alchemy level is skilled 1 or above has been added. You can craft elixirs and drafts in large quantities using new simple alchemy. Material vendors and old moon vendors in each town will sell a Belib essence, which is material for the new simple alchemy recipe. And the hot stuff, you can now heat some accessories obtainable in Valencia to get Ona's Fragments. You talk to Asa Dilla, the weapon vendor in Valencia, to get Asa Dilla's special heating knowledge by spending 30 energy. You can then heat the following accessories to get Ona Fragments if you have the knowledge. Ring of Crescent Guardian, you can get 3 to 5 Yonas. Cadry Guardian Ring, you can get 3 to 5. Serap's Necklace, also 3 to 5. Sissel's Necklace, also 3 to 5. And then the Bazzi and Centaur Belts, you can get 5 to 7 Ona Fragments. So you can get processing XP by heating the accessories. The amount of processing XP will be the same regardless of the amount of Ona Fragments that you get. The text regarding the selling price has been removed from the tooltip. Event record marks. Okay, we'll touch on the other stuff after that. We'll talk about the Ona Fragments. So what does that mean? That means, first of all, you Cadry boys like myself out there, your farm spot is about to get blown up a little bit. Fortunately, I have a stockpile of Cadry rings from grinding Cadry so much, and they're pretty worthless whenever there's an event. If you've played it all today, you might notice Cadry rings sold out. The second this thing hit Reddit this morning, every single Cadry ring got sold out. There were like 1,700 or something at the beginning of the day, and there were 0 by 20 minutes later. And the reason for that is because it was a very cheap 3-4 mil option to then soon get Cadry rings. You can't do this in-game yet because this was just released on KR, so we can't actually do it, but tons of people are obviously have seen this. If you're watching this video, you now know, so there's that as well. That makes this pretty valuable because you can essentially just get bonus Ona Fragments from a Cadry grind. They're obviously not a super common ring drop. I think the most I've ever had in an hour, I had 2 raw drops and then one of the where you combine the 3 things, so I ended up getting 3 in an hour. But on average, you see this thing maybe once every 2 hours. It's probably around the same as Crescent Guardians, except the thing with Crescents is you get all those soiled, so you get a little bit better chance, unless you get that destruction piece to combine the 3. So it makes the Cadry rings pretty valuable. Seraps, I mean, it's kind of up there, depends on what you're farming, what you're trying to do, but these essentially can be turned into Ona Fragments so that you can make Bazzi belts and sell those, and it's going to be super profitable. Like, it's really good. You only need 20 Ona Fragments to do it, and it just turns a spot that's not very good for farming other than like Blackstones into actually really nice, and you can do other things with it as well. So people are going to be making some money. It's going to be really interesting to see this implement along with the new marketplace that's coming up, and how the value of individual items is going to be increasing when that hits alongside with this. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this change in general. I don't think I'll be melting any 50 mil Crescent rings to get 3 to 5. Definitely the Cadry rings, and for sure you're going to see those Centaur belts get melted as well, since they only sell around 8 or 9 mil. Anyhow, they don't typically clog up the market like Cadry rings do, because Cadrys are just like super useless, and Centaur's belts are like not as useless. But because Centaur's is such a huge grinding money spot already, you know, for the magic crystals, the Centaur belts are obviously just going to get melted, because now you can turn them into Bazzi belts, and you get a decent amount of them, and at 5 to 7 mil you get even more Ona Fragments. So that's actually pretty ridiculous. Obviously you're not really going to be melting down Bazzi belts. The goal here is to get the Ona Fragments to make Bazzi belts, so you have that as well. But yeah, so this is a pretty cool thing. I highly recommend, if you are farming any of those, maybe just hang on to them for right now. You could potentially sell them, but the price, there's going to be a price creep on Cadry rings for sure, and possibly Centaurs as well. I would expect to see Cadry rings probably settle in around 7 or 8 mil. just based on when I've seen availability for them in the past, when they start to go up or somebody's doing a DP build, or there hasn't been an event that just handed out Cadry rings like there was with the that Lauren box event, kind of blew up the market for those. So yeah, just look for those, hang on to them. If you want to prep, you can totally buy them off the market if you want. I think I counted this morning, I had like 20 plus, over 20 of these bad boys, and I'll have more too, since I grind there. Oh, what happened? Since I grind there all the time to prep for Blackstones for enhancing streams. So yeah, let's. That was the big news, but let's jump into a couple other things that are listed here as well, that were of note. This was kind of a big deal. The boss summon scrolls will not expire anymore. Same summon scrolls can now be stacked in one inventory slot. So for instance, there's a name change as well. Mansion Mutant Summon Scroll is now Mansion Chief Summon Scroll. So there's a little bit of talk across the Reddits and whatnot on how this is going to be implemented, because it'd be really interesting to see, does this include, we know boss summon scrolls, so you know, like your weekly Dim Tree or Zark or whatever it is that you're doing, and then your daily beg scrolls or whatever it is that you're doing with those can now stack up, and the ones that drop, like for instance, if you farm Hex Sanctuary, it can drop those Frightening Witch scrolls, those with the stack. If you drop the you know, Mansion Chief thing that it's now called, those stack on top of each other. Not a whole lot of clarification, although I'm sure somebody out there on the KR server knows already since it's been implemented, but I couldn't get clarification on this end. Will this work with memory fragment scrolls? If you can take all your ancient relics, combine them, and then they stack on top of each other in one slot, that would actually be huge for inventory space, because it does get kind of frustrating stacking up your scrolls, your relics, or whatever, your farming books, or whatever, in your inventory slots in the warehouse forever, and until you're finally ready to put them all together. Or even worse, you have so many you're not ready to go run them just yet, and then you just start putting them together, and then you feel pressure to get them done in 7 days, because you got to do them and they don't all stack. Though anyways, this will definitely help with that. I think that's a pretty cool quality of life change there, and honestly something that could have been implemented forever ago, but you know, whatever, they want you to buy inventory slots, and now they're just giving it to us afterward. Fix the issue where the durability of your mount's gear did not decrease, some of your mount's slots are empty, whatever. Fix the issue where it looked like armor enhancement level has dropped when your gear's enhancement level drops due to death penalty if you do not have empty slots in your inventory. Added a descriptive sentence about bleeding damage to the tooltip. Monster change, some item drop changes. There was also a Crescent buff, which I believe is in the title of this video. Granted, I haven't made the title yet while I'm recording it, but I'm pretty sure it's going in the title. It doesn't specify exactly, but obviously there's going to be some new mobs there. Crescent monsters engulfed in darkness, and they're going to have a very high chance of dropping the Ring of Crescent Guardian and Soiled Crescent Ring, but will not drop any other items. I would imagine these are going to be something along the lines of like an elite mob in the area. So that being the case, Crescents is probably, especially when this first comes out, Crescents is probably going to blow up as far as a little bit of competition. People are going to want to be checking out these new mobs. That's a little sad to see some competition, because I do like grinding Crescents personally from time to time. It can be pretty chill and not too many people head out there, as opposed to like Fogans or Gahas or something like that. But it is what it is. Chance item drop changes for these bad boys here: Broken Wood Ornament, Imps Torn Ornament, whatever. Chance of attaining the following items from monsters in balance the Calphian area have been decreased. Some of the magic crystals that don't really get used are the lower end ones. Quested knowledge stuff, some UI changes. Following has been added to the Kaffir Stone Extraction windows. Kaffir Stamps level and effects, except for the Gears enhancement level, will be reset to 0. So on and so forth. There's a couple things at the top I wanted to mention. I just wanted to get to those first. Yeah, Archer's getting its. I mean, we knew this. This isn't news, but Archer's getting its raw bombs and skills. It already got the absolute skills in, so we're gonna have these coming in as well. So here's a little tool tip of what exactly they do damage wise, if you want to check that out there. And then there was one more thing about Archer. Oh, a couple issue fixes with Ultimate Zephyr for Leaf not recovering MP and Waking Stance, and a couple things like that as well. Again, we'll get these notes out when we actually get them launched onto NA. Then aside from that, they have all these other events we knew about that were coming up. Well, Snowflake event, all these others, the one, except this one, the Black Desert Thanksgiving. We give great thanks to everyone who enjoyed Black Desert Online this year. Check out the special quests and achievement awards on December 27th that they got. We'll likely get something along the lines for New Year's. They did say in last week's patch notes for NA and EU that to look ahead to forward more exciting events coming for New Year's. So I'm sure we'll have some special stuff. Word on the street is we might be getting the boss box again. It's just been kind of rumored around, but for some reason when you hear these rumors floating around, they tend to be true a lot of the time. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Other than that, there's gonna be some fine accessory boxes coming around with that Snowflake event, which isn't too bad. So if you're trying to get ogre rings or any of the trickier tongue guide rings and stuff like that, you'll have a better opportunity to buy those coming up, and maybe one of your last chances before the new marketplace comes into play, which is going to affect buying those by quite a bit. So just want to share that with everybody if you didn't get a chance to check it out already, or if you were wondering why the 15 Cadry rings you've had listed for the last 2 months and never sold finally sold out instantly today. that is why. So get on the grind, get prepped for this, because this is definitely coming. As far as when it's coming, obviously we don't know for sure. I would imagine there is going to be a maintenance next week, or at least they didn't say there won't be a maintenance next week. So I would imagine we would get it implemented next week. It's possible it could be the following week after, but I can't see them postponing at least like the Archer Rob skills another week. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense for us. So just keep your eyes peeled for that. Obviously, I will update you guys here on the channel once the news is available, or if we get news on when it's coming out. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you get notifications for when that goes up, so you stay up to date as best you can in video format anyways. And be sure to like the video if this helped you out, or if you already knew it. Also, what your thoughts are going to be about grinding wise. Do you think Cadry is going to become potentially a good grinding spot? Do you think you'll see maybe popularity just initially when this comes out, and people will at first go there and then eventually flock to wherever else they go? Is Crescents going to be the new Gahas with the, depending on how these ring drops work, and will that crash the ring pricing? I want to hear from you guys, so just leave some comments in. We'll have a little discussion in the old chatty section there. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Everybody, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.